Hey everyone, welcome back for another one of my training exercises. Just quick heads up if you hear some noises in the background, some whining. This one has to co-pilot pretty much everything I do when I'm talking. So, just letting you know. All right, so this process of doing this trophy design it's one of my favorite training exercises in a 3D modeling program. I've done this for years in different programs because it's just something that I've found makes a great amount of sense for everyone to learn. All right, so start up a new project. Going over here, click a new design. First thing you can do is check the document settings. This is all going to be done in millimeters. I'm going to pull this over here. I don't know why they put it up all the way over on the other side of the screen when this thing comes up. You can move all these menus. So you got to be in millimeters for this process. All right. And you're going to create a sketch. You're going to click the top plane. And you're going to create a center point rectangle. I'm really going to make a square. And while I'm here, one of the things I want to show you is any of these tools you can dock to the toolbar up here. If you use it a lot, it just makes it easy to get to. And that's huge in this program. Things like conic curve I use all the time. I put that up there by pinning it. All right. Anyway, I'm using a center point square rectangle tool. And this is going to be a 125 millimeter square. So I press 125 and then tab. Jumps to the other measurement, 125, and then hit enter. And that sketch is our first, and it's finished. You're going to click the extrude button. It should auto highlight that. You're going to click highlight distance. You don't have to type in the letters for units or anything. When you're preset to millimeters, you could just type in 20 and then enter, and that's all you need for that. While we're at it, you can go here quick and click this fillet tool and click the corners. You can click straight through this if you're careful and grab that corner without moving the thing around. That's helpful to know you can do. Highlight this measurement, type in the number 5, hit enter, and just round those corners out a little bit. Then you're going to highlight the top of this shape and create a new sketch on it. Use the center rectangle again and making sure you're going from the origin point 0, 0 out. I'm going to go 100 by 100 with this one. 100 tab. I'm saying that funny because oftentimes people ask me what I'm saying. They think I'm saying tap. It's a B as in bunk. All right. You finished that sketch. Hopefully all of your computers are doing what mine is while this tilts and shows you it at an isometric angle. It should automatically do that. Not everybody's turns to it. You can click this bottom corner of where it says top, and it'll auto flip it to where, turns out it's not going to that orientation. Anyway, you can still tilt it, and then it'll go to the orientation you need so you can see what's going on. Click and select that shape before you click extrude, or you can click extrude first. It really doesn't matter. And this height is going to be 90 mil. 90, enter. Okay, so that's the base of the trophy. One of the things that's also happening here is when you're doing this extrude, I'm going to right click on it and give you this edit feature thing so you can see it. It's joining to the bottom. And that's where I'm starting to get into. There's a difference between creating a new body and joining bodies. So these two are joined bodies because it's a wooden block. All right. And then that way, if you want to go ahead and we'll do this right here and now because it could be helpful to see things easier this way. Right click on the body, go to appearance. Then you click this fusion appearances menu if you haven't gotten into appearances yet. It's an interesting little menu system. I'm going to click wood. It's going to bring this thing down. It really doesn't matter what you use, but what you have to do is whatever one of these you have to use, you have to click the arrow that's next to it. It has to install it first, and then you can drag and drop that. All right, so that kind of looks like the wood that they use to make the trophy that I'm modeling in this video. Like I said, it really doesn't matter, but that way you can see the texture that's there. Now, I'm going to the origin is automatically going to be, the visibility is automatically turned off because seeing that can be really irritating, actually. But then you have 3 planes in the origin. XY, XZ, and YZ. Those are those three surfaces that you have to pick from. And what I'm looking for is like if you're looking right at this, the front plane is right here, and you're going to create a sketch on that inside, sort of. It runs outside in every direction. Right now it's just inside, but you can click here and hit create sketch, and it's going to create a plane and a sketch right down the middle of this wooden block. Then what we want to do is click the create menu here and project. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on the edge of the wooden block, and it's going to project the edge line onto the new sketch right here in the middle as a sketch line. Because we're going to use that to become here, and double click on this. This is the step that you're at. We have to create that, and that's a great visual. We're going to draw a center line right up the middle, 200 millimeters, 46 millimeters over. This is going to be an arc. These are going to be arcs. So we're going to put a couple of points in here and just make a little bit of contouring. This is just kind of an up 5 over a little bit and up 5 millimeters. And then we're going to double up that line by using the offset tool. So I have some measurements here to make this simple in front of me. I always sketch stuff out before I actually finish the sketch. I was looking at the trophy, taking some measurements off before I built this in reality, because that's what it takes to design things. And I'm just making it simpler on you guys. But remember, we're working down the middle of this, creating a profile, a cross section, and then it's going to revolve. So click front. So we're back to where you need to be looking here. I'm going to start a line. What I just did is I made my life easier. There wouldn't be a line there automatically, and you wouldn't really know if I'm right on top of the wooden block with this line. So I projected that line onto the sketch so I could use it now. I'm just going to go up, let go of the mouse, and type in 200 and then enter, and that's going to give me my 200 vertical there. Then I'm going to go and click line again, start going to the right, type 46, enter. And we're going to leave that alone. This is not the same as AutoCAD. What we want to do is, actually, I'll just do it this way. We could double up on this line, that's fine. Just start off, draw from the bottom of that 200 millimeter line over, type in 40, enter. And that'll give you a horizontal 40 line. That'll be the bottom of the cup. Line again. All right, so what you want is up, type in 5, enter, and that's going to go there. Put another little line just over a couple of millimeters. This doesn't really matter. You can go 2.5 if you want to be super accurate about it. But then, see, I just deleted my line. I'm just going to go back in here and put that line in there. And then I can pull upwards once that little, I don't know why it just went away on me. 5, enter again. So I'm looking at up, over, up again, and then I'm going to leave that alone. That's going to be, all right, this is what I just did. So I'm going to leave that there. We're going to end up pulling an arc in, but I want to put these measurements and this stuff in here before I pull that arc in there. And you'll see what I'm saying. Okay, I'm going to put a couple of points in, and I really don't like the visibility here. I can grab these measurements and I can move some stuff out of the way. Probably a really good idea for you guys to do this. Grab these dimensions that are here. Just click on the measurements themselves and you can pull them out of the way. So it's not going to drive you nuts when we have all these lines going on. This 40, that's all set up. Okay, now you're going to create, let's do it this way, a point. What I want you to do is drop 2 points. It really doesn't matter where you go with them, but just make sure that they're directly one over the top of the other like that. Click a point, drag upwards, click another point somewhere next to this 200 millimeter line. Then what I want you to do is we're going to use this vertical constraint thing. We're going to just click vertical constraint, horizontal constraint, and click these two things. And what it's going to do is it's going to make sure that they stay right over the top, vertically over the top of one another. So when I do this and I click sketch dimension, I want to click the line and one of these points, I'm going to make it 10 millimeters away. Just type in 10, enter, and see they're going to move together because they're locked vertically. That makes my life easier. While we're measuring things, I want you to click this point and down here to this baseline. That should be 40, enter. And then this distance between these two, you just click the top one and then the bottom one, make that 15. You just click it, it's going to highlight it in blue, type 15, enter. All right. Again, if you want to, right now you can see I've got dimension arrows. I don't want to click anything because it's going to start trying to dimension. If I hit escape, I can grab at least this and pull it down here. And this, we're going to have a bunch of lines going on. Those are going to be in the way. We just need this placement locked in, which we've now got. And moving these right now is going to make your life a little bit easier. Okay, so let's just do, because it's fun, go to a 3-point arc. I want you to do this in a specific order. Click this bottom right dot and then this black dot here, and you can see this can bend around or whatever. What you want is tangency, meaning this is going to snap out at 90 degrees to that arc. We pull it down until, I don't know why it's not giving me an indicator here. It's got to be some of my lines, but it should snap when it's going vertically underneath here. So you just want to click and place that arc in there that way. So it starts off going straight down and sweeps nice. It makes it look a lot nicer when it's done. Then what you're going to do is put in a couple of little lines. You can go like 2 millimeters down, just type in 2 when you're dragging downwards, and then go up. And the same thing down here. A little 2 mil line going up, 2, enter. Then we're going to put in a little arc, 3-point arc. Click here, and you just want this to bubble in about that far. Mine's like 4.5 grid lines if you zoom in. All right, that's going to make the centerpiece look a lot cooler when we revolve it. Okay, and then we want to do the same thing with the 3-point arc. We want it coming down vertically off of here, so I'm going to click a arc, 3-point arc menu, and go down here and click this black dot, and then this top black dot, and then when I pull it, you want to make sure, again, it's like coming straight down and sweeping, and that'll make the arc format what you really want it to be. Okay. So as I said, we are going to create an offset. This is going to have to be a profile. I'm going to double click on the sketch so you can see how I can get in there and open these things up. What we need to do is we need to duplicate this, and then you need to have it closed in so it's its own separate shape that we can select and ring that around 360 degrees to form a cup. We also need a base. I missed it on this. If you do it like without the bottom being offset, it's going to be a hollow cup, which is just silly. So here we go. Offset. The measurement can be 2 millimeters. Offsetting, when you have things like this, can be a little bit funny. What you're going to do is you're going to offset. You can just easiest offset everything first. Where's my offset line? It should be right where you click. I just wasn't looking. Yeah, so see, this is going to strike into itself, and the software that can become a problem. All I'm saying is just type in 1.75 for a safe measurement. As this, that's going the wrong way. I want to go negative 1.75. Sorry about that. Negative 1. Oh my goodness. 0.75. Okay, I want it going inside, otherwise it's going to bury itself into the wood, and that would be silly too. Hit OK. Now what we're going to do is draw a vertical line here. All right, so that closes the loop for all of this, and then we need to make another little vertical line. I'm just using the mouse wheel and clicking and pressing down and dragging. So I close that in, hit enter, and we're done. What you can do is, since you're zoomed in, or should be zoomed in already, click there. If it turns blue and you zoom out, you'll see you've got it all selected just right for a perfect cup profile. All right, so you can finish the sketch, click revolve, Sorry, it didn't keep that selected, but at least you know it works. Click the shape. I have to click select to choose the axis. The axis, you want to make sure you choose the one on the left. That's the actual center of this. And you see how this is joining and coloring. So I got a wood cup and a wood base. If I drop this menu down and click new body, it's going to make that its own separate body that I can recolor its own way. All right, when I put the handles on it, I'm going to join it to the cup. So that's going to be one complete body. But just so you can see this, you can right click on this, go into this appearance menu, click the fusion appearances. Sorry, this is the way these things work. It's a little funny. These are drop menus where if you click it, it opens, click it again, it closes. So you can get busy if you don't close your menus up. And you can go into like metal, gold. There's only one gold option. You're gonna have to install it. I've already done it. Drag, drop, and there you got a gold cup. So that looks cool. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is put these handles on there. So you're gonna make sure you click on the front here, so you're looking square at it. We're gonna have to change the visibility to make this display thing work. Go to display, visual style, and choose wireframe so you can see right through everything. All right, we're gonna do the same thing. We're going to create a sketch right down the middle. In this case, we're going to draw one handle and mirror it. So you're going to have a copy of it go to the other side. So it'll be perfectly symmetrical. Wonderful word, symmetrical. Just being silly here. So you just got to make sure that if this is off and you don't see it, you got to turn on your origin planes so you can see what's going on. Click the XY plane and put a new sketch on it. So we're doing the same thing we just did to make the profile of this handle. All right. This is, I didn't write down my measurements. So I'm going to go over here and grab my measurements so you can see what's going on. This is, I was doing the math freehand. I'm just going to pull some measurements off of here. We can go 12 millimeters over. We can go, watch this. I'll just modify it on the fly so you can actually see what's going on here. This is just closed off and buried in there. This goes out about 12 millimeters. It goes up. You'll see what I'm doing here in a second. This is like me pulling the measurements off of something and then changing them a little bit to make them easier for you guys when we work on things. Just making them like whole numbers and things so we don't have decimals too often. Because most of the measurements don't really matter all that much. Like 19.5 can jump to 20, perfect. All right. So you just need those rough points in space, and then it's going to be a point that's going to come down here, and we're going to bend an arc in there. And this is actually pretty quick and easy. I just put a little fillet in here. So, all right, let's remember these measurements: 12, 25, 20, and then actually let's go and put one so I know roughly how far down. There's no measurement there. Sorry. I'm calling it over constraint. What I could do is just give you an idea. About 13 millimeters down from the top of the cup is what I'm talking about as far as where this comes out and starts to turn up. So watch. So what you want to do is go into the cup about 12 millimeters down. It really doesn't matter. And you can just watch the measurements as you go. This is supposed to go out about 12. Like I said, it doesn't matter exactly. You go up about 20, over about 20. I'm done. I just hit enter, and I meant to hit escape. I have to delete this little line segment by clicking on it and hitting delete on the keyboard. Again, I went over 12, up 20, not 25. And I can actually put these measurements on there and you can see it. You don't need this, but if you would like it to be perfect, some people do. Again, this was 25, not 20. That pushed down. This is 20. And then now that if I hit enter again, or escape, shape, I can grab this whole clump of stuff because it's all locked together now and put it into the position where I really would want it to go ultimately. All right, and then it's just pulling in an arc. Watch this. Click create, click arc. You want to go down here really low into zoom in so you can get the middle in between the wall thickness here. You want to just click, and I don't know why I didn't actually get the arc selected. There we go. You can see the little bendy arc tool there. So all you're going to do is get close. This doesn't have to be perfect. You're going to click in the middle. You're going to zoom out or whatever you need to do to get this point connected up there. And then you bend it again where it's called tangent, where this is going to snap vertically going downwards from that point. There's my dog whining in the background. Told you guys that was going to happen. All right. So that's actually complete. Yeah, then I was just thinking about how this offset can be maybe easier. It should select, if you this before you click actually even line. If you've done offsets before and this is deselected, you don't want that. Check that, and then you click that line. And then what you can do is you can just pull an offset. And what you want to do is really just make sure it doesn't have to be an exact measurement either. This is roughly 3 millimeters. But what you don't want to do is have the end of the offset outside of the cup end. All right, so again, this is going to be 3. You can just type in 3, hit enter, and then what you're going to do is close in the end of the handle up on the top. All right, you can see I'm trying to remember if I put a line on here, what I was trying to do, I think before, was be able to trim this. Oh, there we go. Perfect. I don't know why I did that before. I'm going to back up and do that again just so you can see it. All right. That was a parallel offset line. What you do is go down to the end over here and connect the line so it's inside the cup handle, and then you have a little segment here that you can scissor away with a trim. All right. Then we're going to take this and mirror everything. You're going to mirror. All right, this is going to be a little trickier to select if you do it the way I'm showing you. If you hover over, sorry about my dog whining in the background. I have her in the crate because she gets a little loud. Daisy, shh. Sorry about that. I'm going to drag over as much as I can select. So I don't know why I only got those. I drug over these lines, but you got to select everything that you're going to mirror. So all of the lines that we just built, including this bottom one. All right, and then you're going to click select mirror line, and we have to choose. Sorry. See, this is the YZ plane. You want to click the Z line. It really doesn't matter, but as long as you get something that you're seeing, you're selecting that plane right there or the line, it's the Z. Z is up and down. You have X and Y, that's left and right, forward and backward. Z is up and down, like on a 3D printer. There we go. Hit OK. And then we have to finish this sketch. Click extrude. And then you're going to click inside each of these handles and type in the number 8 for the distance. 8. It should, I just want to double check here because you want to make sure that it's actually completed when you're doing the cup shape. Like this looks like it's actually, I don't know, it's hard to see. That's why I'm going to go in here and change the display settings now back to visual style. Shaded with visible edges only. All right, and then the other thing you have to make sure that you do is not leave it as cut. It's going to automatically want to go to cut. You want to hit join. So it joins and you'll see it automatically goes gold. I'm going to hit OK. I think I got everything the way I would like it to be. Oh, see, I have to modify something real quick. I missed a command. See, this is not in the middle of the cup, and that's why that there's this overhang here. And I was just like, man, do I really have to go and change that? No, I have to show you guys how to go back and edit a feature, which is a good mistake. right click on it down here. And what I did was leave it one side. The direction here, you want to make it symmetric. And if you see where I'm going, the other thing about that is now it's going with symmetric. What am I doing? No, I need it to be symmetric, but I'm used to doing this in different programs. So I'm going to leave it as symmetric, and you got to put in half the thickness that you want because it's going to go 4 millimeters in both directions. And you don't want that bigger than it's supposed to be. Otherwise, it's going to look totally silly. So going 4 is going to make the total width of this 8 millimeters in reality. All right, so that's the right way to do it. All right, so if you have to modify a feature, like if you use the wrong command and it cut it out or it didn't join it and it made a new body or whatever, you can right click, go to this, and you're set. You just go back and make the changes that you need to, and it's symmetric. There you go. All right. It's actually a pretty good, quick, easy design. If you want to clean things up when you're done, you can turn the origin off there. You could even take the grid display and turn this out. I don't know why my grid lock is on, but depending on whether you want that on or not. One last quick thing that I want to do here before I go. Oh, wait, we forgot to save it. Make sure you save this thing as trophy in your admin folder. Be a hero and add your last name. Period for whatever class you're in. All right. But yeah, one of the things that I haven't gotten into with my students yet is just going into a rendering scenario. One of the things that you might expect from programs like this, if you don't have a lot of experience, is like really high quality. The quality is actually dulled down when you're designing, because if you try to design in the highest quality possible, it takes too much computer power and it'll slow your design flow down and it'll drive you mad, actually. So what they do is they use limited coloring and better coloring for you to see what's going on while you're designing. And then you could always go into a render studio and you can change your appearances and drag and drop whatever you want appearance wise onto the body here. Like you can just click that, it'll bring up the appearance menu. You can drag and drop colors on there. And then this takes forever in the real world. All right. Just so you know, I'll show you this real quick. All right. This is about query time. Let's see. Oh, these are free credits. You don't have unlimited cloud rendering. So I'm not even going to mess with that. And I don't need you to, but what I just want you to see is the fact that you can control, like in a business sense, if you want to design something and show somebody what it's actually going to look like as best you possibly can. Yes, you can do that in the software. It's got the tools to do this, and then even different kinds of simulations, manufacturing, and even, watch this. If I go down to drawing from design, hit OK. Let's see what this does. I haven't done this in this program. Yeah, not going to get into that. All right. It's a way that you can put an engine, and it's still processing. And I don't know if it's going to process the way I want it to or not. It should. Okay. So it brings up an actual like floor plan type drawing template, blueprint type drawing template, where you can take and change the size of it, put in the views of it, put in all the measurements so you can show it to somebody that needs to actually produce this thing for you. I'm not going to go back. I'm going to get out of here because I'm making this go on for too long. Close this. I'm not going to save that. I'm going to go back to my design thing. I just wanted you guys to see the difference between what it looks like to be in a development stage of something and actually making it look higher quality. And by all means, if you want to go in here and modify this at all, I'll just add this real quick, because like on the real design, there's a little 5mm chamfer that goes around here. You can select all these edges, do something like that, where you go 5mm. Oh, wow, this is being finicky. Bevel that out. You can put little rounds on things. You can do whatever you want to make this a little bit more interesting if you'd like. All right, that's just a basic general intro to how to develop something. And separate bodies, recoloring things, make things look more real. That's a real design. That's an exact replica, actually, of a trophy that I had students win years ago. So I really like it. Near and dear to my heart. All right. I will see you guys soon. Thanks for watching.